teenager, I really remember Famagusta. I remember the war. I remember the refugee time. I want to run for the European Parliament with Δημοκρατικός Συναγερμός, with the party. So that's my new. I wouldn't say ambition. It's something that I want to do. It's something that I believe in. Cyprus become member of the hardcore center of Europe, and I would like us to think as more part of Europe.
I'm Farah Shammas. Welcome to Hotel Talk. We hope you enjoy listening to this friendly conversation between people connected by real life in hotels. Well, everyone, today, do I have an exciting lineup for you all? This is very much a Heart of Hotels episode with none other than Christos Angelides, who is the president of the Hotel Managers Association here in Cyprus. So he's very well known within our little corner of the island's industry, but many other people know him for his role as a vice president of the Famagusta Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He's the business development manager of H&C Hotel Group, and he's also the commissioner of tourism for the Democratic Rally Party. So there's quite a lot of hats and juggling going on here, and I can't wait to delve into who is the man behind all of this. So, Christos, thank you for coming.
No, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I actually now realize that I am so many things in one.
When it's summed up.
Yeah, because it's in the daily routine.
Yeah.
And you are accustomed to everything you do. You forget the titles, and it's just the process, and it's the task, and it's your daily accomplishments you have to go behind and do. So titles are
interesting, yeah.
Secondhand.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, let's start with a little bit about you. First of all, tell us about you. Who are you, and how did you get into hotels?
Well, I was born and raised in Famagusta, so I have the memories of the saddest, page of history of Cyprus.
How old were you when the invasion happened?
I was 14.
14. So you really remember it?
I really remember Famagusta. I remember the war. I remember the refugee time, which was, when you're a teenager living in an innocent, in your innocent period of life, and you're all happy. In Famagusta was a dream place to be. Tourism was blooming, culture,
and it was just beautiful.
And the beaches were still unbeatable across Mediterranean. So,
and where were you a refugee?
We ended up in Limassol after staying in different places, but we ended up in Limassol. Friendly place, but not yours. However, we are, thankful that we are hosted in Limassol. I actually met a lot of friends, but also most of Famagustians ended up in Limassol because there was availability. The British left the housing they had in the city. In Berengaria or in Western Limassol.
You know what? So I never thought about that. You're the first person that's pointed that out.
Yes.
To me, at least. Yeah.
That's why there are so many Famagustians in Limassol.
And also that there was the sea. I mean, between Nicosia, let's say, and Limassol, Famagusta was a thriving town. And the second best was Limassol. So it made sense for a lot of people to come here.
So I finished up the school in Limassol, and I moved to Athens to study sports.
Wow.
The reason that I wanted to study sports is because at the same time I was playing volleyball. I'm proud to say that I am one, or I was one of the better ones at the time. So
I can imagine, actually. This does not come as a surprise. So
No, I actually played for the national team of Cyprus, and I moved to Athens to play for Olympiacos Piraeus in a professional level. So that I forgot to tell you at the beginning about the sports career.
Don't tell me. Is there another? Don't tell me you're head of like Goa or something.
No. So I played for 6 years for Olympiacos, and I had a brilliant career with European accolades and trophies. Olympiacos was one of the best teams in Europe at that time.
Wow!
So I was part of that great team, and also I played for quite a few years for the national team of Greece.
That's amazing.
So I completed this international career in Greece, and I moved to Los Angeles to pursue my studies in sports management.
Okay.
The reason being is that I was excited about the Olympics, which presumably were supposed to come in Athens in 1996 for the 100th year celebration.
Yeah.
Of course, Atlanta got it with Coca-Cola on the side. So I pursued the big events structure in the business school in coordination with the sports department. And I did this special sports management masters.
Okay.
In the process, though, I realized that I needed a bit more. So I changed schools and I went to the public management and policy. And I started all over. And I went to the public management and policy specialty. And I ended up specializing in public policy design. Okay. It's the equivalent of the strategic management in the business. So the same, let's say, technical matters and subjects, but applicable for the public.
And what drew you to that? Because you could have gone into anything.
I could have gone into everything. But the idea was that to run Olympics, you needed a bit more, or to run big events, global events. So when you're in LA, when you're in the United States, everything becomes bigger.
Everything is
the
big.
Dreams become bigger. Your ambitions become bigger. And naturally, I fell in love with this big dreaming process because also the structures give you the possibility. You know, teachers, the professors, the lecturers. When you have, let's say, the CEO of IBM at the time coming to talk to you, automatically you say, "Oh wow, it's
amazing."
Or the GE,
everything is possible.
And they are coming to talk to you. You say, "Oh my God, where am I now?" It's the two biggest, CEOs in the world. And you are there, and they're talking to you, and you realize that they're only people like me.
Exactly, and you realize also that they're humble.
You say, why not me now? So you start getting into this mode, and I got into that.
And then, so where did you go from there?
I decided to come back to Cyprus, to go to the University of Cyprus, which was just opening. So I was supposed to join the management department to organize the public policy and management, the one that I was specialist. And I was one of the few. I don't know if there is another one.
So to actually work in the University of Cyprus?
No. Yeah. However, different events took me to the hotel industry for a short period of time.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, I stay for a year to help the family getting in. We had an unfortunate event at of the family that I was part of. And I stayed there for a year to help.
Mm.
And the 1 year became 32 now.
Yeah, you entered the vortex. My husband always
Correct.
teases me that, you know, this
Correct.
industry is like you just get sucked in and
Yeah, I never regret it, although I always have, you know, the academicians' curiosity, and I am still, you know, liking the fact that I study, I read. I like to read the news. I like to read events. I like the encyclopedic development of me.
Yeah.
I like to know.
Yeah. To stay updated. Yeah.
And it helped me also in my career in the hotel industry and also in my social life. It's nice to know.
It's nice. It's nice to keep growing as well.
Yeah, it's nice to know who's the president of, let's say, Poland.
Yeah.
Or Austria, or who's that, or why is this, or which company, financial matters, financial news, what's happening in the world. And I always advise also my kids to read 10 minutes the headlines of international news.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
tell us about family, talking about kids. Tell us about your family.
Okay, I have 2 kids. It's Harris, which is 21 and is studying international finance and business in Cardiff.
Amazing.
And the younger one, Clary, she's more artistic. She likes drama, dance. She haven't yet decided how she will combine all this. She's more into, rather than specializing only in the specific area. And I advise her also to open up her, let's say, world of acting. She's good at literature and languages.
Wow. That's
so it will help her into her career as an actor.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And I think the world of acting anyway has developed so much with voiceovers and audiobooks and adverts, and there's just so many possibilities.
There are so many possibilities now. It's not only Hollywood and it's not only TV.
Yeah.
You can, it's Netflix, it's Blue Zone, it's Horizon, it's whatever is on the online platforms.
And how did you find it being in such a busy career and being a father? And I try always to ask men this because I think there's a lot of focus on us women and how we manage it. But daddies are still daddies and they still have to be there for their children. So how did you balance hotel life and other things and then being there for 2 children?
I am trying hard. I've tried hard to make available time on Saturdays. Every Saturday we had to have lunch together. And I tried to do the drivings. I was coming from Ayana to Nicosia, where I live, to take them, to football, to music. After 6, I was the one to do the driving.
Yeah, you know what? You can have such quality time with children, picking them up, and they will share a lot with you. I also think it's important. Yeah,
it's the best time because they cannot go anywhere.
Yeah,
they sit in the car and they have to talk to me.
Yeah,
or it's a time that I can talk to them, or I could have talked to them.
That's so nice. So how did you then get into the Hotel Managers Association world? And how did that happen? And how did you end up as the president of it?
I like to think I'm a likable.
I think you are very likable, as everyone listening to this will see.
And I am always involved, with the social life of the organizations. And I'm very social as a person and very involved with philanthropic institutes that I took from the family and from my mother, the late Christos Angelides, who was also a very popular lady in Cyprus. She was, by the way, the first minister of education in Cyprus, and very politically involved and socially, and a poet and a philanthropist. So my
was she
mother,
a big? Did you say it was your mother?
I would say it started off with my father, who was studying philosophy, and then he moved into law. But in between, he was a member of the parliament for 10 years. A very enlightened person, a very well-read. He was fluent with Latin, ancient Greek, and English, besides Greek. So he was a very well-read person and very calm. So the first influence was the father, talking to us in a calm way with advices and stories.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we lost him very early. He was gone at 48.
Wow.
Yes.
Very, very, very young.
Yeah. I think my mother with 3 teenage kids, being a refugee at that time, she grew stronger.
She had to be.
And became resilient. And she decided to focus on helping society besides us. So I would say father, but then mainly mother, the bigger influencer.
And it sounds like they were both powerful forces, but calming ones as well.
Correct. That's why they were very likable. And my mother, that was one of her main characteristics. Determined, but also quiet. Calm. Peaceful, but target-oriented and task-oriented. Always.
Admirable qualities.
Admirable, yes. So she, I cannot say that I follow up her footsteps, but I am in that direction.
Yeah. So you went into the Hotel Managers Association. You were voted in as president.
Yes.
And you've been the president for...
That's my second term, which ends up in a month from now. I'm getting a lot of pressure and requests to stay on, but I have another task now.
Let's talk about your other task.
Yeah, I want to run for the European Parliament with Δημοκρατικός Συναγερμός, with the party. So that's my new. I wouldn't say ambition. It's something that I want to do. It's something that I believe in because the European Union, it's the privileged area where a person who deals with politics in Cyprus can offer. Of course, it's my belief that anyone who becomes a member of the parliament has to be well equipped, education-wise, socially, and mainly technical expertise, besides the academic. And when I mean technical, I mean professional. Someone who's come through work, through experiences, through interaction with people, through interaction with the international community, like we are in tourism.
Yeah, like real life experience, not just theoretical.
No, how negotiation works, you know that, how hard they work in hotels. How the international system of travel and tourism works. Airlines, tour operators, travel agents, banking, insurances.
And how it's changed.
And how it's changed over the years.
Yeah.
I started work with when Telex was in place.
I was about to say.
Remember? Of course
for me, no, I was fax.
It was
fax.
Yeah. It was fax.
Imagine, that really shows my age. I was just fax. I was the first one in the company to get an email. And it was like, whoa, what's she doing?
Hey, it was novelty. So now we're getting, the reservations and the images and emails on our phone.
Yeah. I know.
which it never stops.
Never stops.
Which is a nightmare.
Because you remember when Blackberries came out and it was the big dilemma, are we going to get a Blackberry or not? And then we ended up checking emails at 3 a.m. and,
Correct.
And now it's normal,
So going back to the European Union, I believe that Cyprus ought to be represented, not because it's me or we have to be represented with people who can really influence decisions through knowledge, through experience, through negotiation, through lobbying. Because we have a lot to gain and a lot to bring back to Cyprus, particularly for the economy, for tourism. Have a lot to bring back.
What would you like to see changed? Like, what's your vision?
First of all, I would like to see Cyprus become member of the hardcore center of Europe. And I would like us to think as more part of Europe than we and the Europeans. We have to digest that we are Europeans. We are member of the European Union.
I know, because we do say here, like, oh, in Europe.
Yes.
Like, as if it's like, exobes in Kipro, like, and it's not. So, we are European.
And we need more Europe and European sense in Cyprus. So I believe that we have to fight and work to bring more funds, more programs, more developmental processes, and why not bring institutions from Europe to be based in Cyprus?
Like what institutions? What would you imagine or hope for?
Well, from an international standpoint of view, because I like to develop tourism and sports as two of my portfolios.
Yeah, and it's your forte and your passion.
It's my passion. It's things that I can talk and things that I am I'm specialist. Let's say I have a vision that Cyprus should become the nicest, the biggest, and more inclusive sports Olympic center of Europe.
Wow.
All Cyprus. And people, when I say this, they ask me, how do you mean that we can get Olympics in Cyprus? I said, why not?
Yeah.
And this can be a catalyst
imagine.
For peace in the whole region. Imagine the old deserted airport in Nicosia to become the Olympic center of Europe. You never thought about it?
I'm like, there was silence there, because really...
then maybe part of the, international Olympic organization can be based in Cyprus. And through it, a lot of international sports federations can have, a branch in Cyprus.
Yeah.
Imagine how many the possibilities would be endless.
We've got the weather for it. The weather's just amazing.
The geographical position and the geography of Cyprus.
Yeah.
You can have cycling.
Yeah.
Hiking,
water sports, beach volley.
Beach volleyball.
Normal tennis, sports. Of course, football, all of these things, no problem. Yeah.
And once you have the facilities, from the two hemispheres, different periods of time in the season, they can travel to Cyprus as the most modern and complete athletic facility in the world. It's doable. It's a big dream.
It's a big dream.
But it's doable.
Of course it's doable. And 40 years ago, no one would have guessed in a million years, or they would have laughed if someone had said Cyprus will become what we've become now. 40 years ago, someone would have laughed their head off.
And the reason, going back to Los Angeles, University of Southern California, USC, where I pursued my studies, was the main Olympic venue with a Coliseum, which is part of the city and the university, and the Department of Operations and Public Management was the operational department running the Olympics. And how did they run the Olympics? Peter Uberroth was the manager of the Olympics. He went to the companies and he said, McDonald's, you will organize and deliver the Olympic swimming pool to USC. So he went to USC and said and asked them, you guys, I will donate you the facility for swimming. You will host the Olympics. The pool is yours, but it has to be named McDonald's Olympic Swimming Pool forever. Yes? Yes. So he went all over the universities and he put different venues in universities. So after the Olympics, the universities had perfect facilities, the city perfect facilities, and the Olympic Committee didn't pay anything. Only the companies. Global corporations, of course.
Yes.
But it worked.
But it's still amazing.
It worked. So we could emulate this model. Go to Amazon, which it's nothing, to give you 20 million to make a swimming pool and name it after Amazon Olympic swimming pool in the venues that you have in Cyprus. It only takes a dream, a dreamer, and a doer.
Yeah.
I would like to be that one.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'll vote for you. I'm already sold. So, okay, you've answered a lot of this, but I'd like to go deeper. Why is politics important to you? I mean, obviously, you grew up with it. You've seen it from your two big mentors. We know why politics is important, but to you as Christos, why is politics so important?
Well, it's a twofold. The first one, I would like to be in politics because I believe that we all should deal with politics in one way or another. We all have to be involved.
And it affects everyone.
It affects everyone. And I reached the point where I want to be part of a system that makes decisions for my country. So that's my main.
And make a positive change. Have you felt frustrated then in the past by things maybe
always.
Not being ideal or
always.
Yeah.
Name one who is not frustrated with the state of affairs. We all complain about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, about everything.
Yeah. So rather than complaining, you're like, I want to.
Rather than complaining, I decided to move from the second line to the front line. I was always involved with politics, with my party, but on the second line with committees, development of tourism, economy, and other aspects of politics. But now I decided to come forward.
Yeah.
I believe it's time. I'm ready. I'm well equipped, and I would like to do it.
Yeah.
And I have a big dream for Cyprus.
Yeah. Well, it definitely sounds like it.
Well, I've gone through, all the stages. I grew up with two people who were politicians. I studied politics mainly and how to make political decisions. And also, I know I've gone also through a doctoral degree of the nuts and bolts of how to make decisions.
And you've had a lifetime, a career of actually working in industry, commerce and industry, which is, which is very important. It's not just being theory on paper and, real life and, real problems.
And now, exactly.
And hopefully real solutions. Yeah.
As you said, I am not a politician that came from a system that develops politicians.
Yeah.
I'm coming from life, and as you say, the nuts and bolts of life and how things work. And also I know the difficulties of people who are in work. as as a hotel owner and manager, people who work, for less money and they have to get through life. So in 30 years, I'm getting into the difficulties.
Yeah.
I know how difficult life is. So I would like to add a bit to the betterment of life of people.
So, well, I'm not changing direction completely, but what would you say was the happiest time of your life? Which may or may not have something to do with politics, but...
Generally, I'm a happy person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not moody. But I would say that I'm happy moments in life were in Famagusta. Careless. And if I can, put them in incidents or periods, my sports career was a good one because it came through hard work. I had to study and also I had to train for 4 hours daily. So the achievements were giving me a lot of pleasure and pride. And looking back now, I think that was a happy moment for me. Of course, like everyone's when your kids were born.
Yeah.
Although they're also giving you the hardest of times.
Yes, definitely.
But generally, although, as I said, I went through different times and aspects. Generally, I'm a happy person.
You are.
I've never complained. It's one of the things that it's a motto of me.
Well,
never
I think you're
complain.
a doer. So even if something will bother you, you'll just keep on moving and fix it and move on. You're not going to dwell.
I try.
Yeah.
I try.
Interesting. And what would you say, do you have a funny hotel experience or something like super memorable from your career that stands out?
Well, the funniest of times were, when I was on road.
Yeah.
With a lot of Cypriots at the early times.
Yeah.
In buses.
Yeah.
To do the road shows.
Yeah.
And we're going with dancers and musicians all over, snowy Europe, from restaurants to hotels to present Cyprus and present the hotels.
Yeah.
And naturally, I had to dance and sing. And because I'm a good singer and dancer, everyone was pushing me in the dancing floor to make all the travel agents excited about dancing the Cypriot, the Greek dancing and singing. And
I think for many of us and many people that have been on this podcast, we've all Christos Angelides, Christos Angelides. I mean, so many different people have been on, and we just laugh a lot about the trips.
It was a period of about 10 years, very intense with road shows.
Yeah.
But I think we've made a big mark at the time.
Yeah.
All of us, a lot of people were doing that.
And it was a different world. I mean, we still go on our trips now, but obviously it's less. And, way back when there was even the public exhibitions. I mean, you'd go to an exhibition and it was about getting individual bookings.
Remember.
That's how
remember
people
you
were
that
booking.
time. I remember you.
I mean, that's how people were booking. You'd be like, yes, they booked a week in our hotel.
Yes.
I mean, imagine now. Now it's all about online. But then it was to get the physical brochure to...
Correct.
And I mean, we laughed, didn't we? We laughed a lot. It was the happy times.
Indeed.
So a favourite quote. Do you have a favourite quote or saying?
I have a favourite belief. I don't know whether it's a it can be a quote.
Yeah.
Never lie to people, but mainly never lie to yourself.
I love that. That's amazing.
That's also the advice that my father gave me, and that's the advice that I give to my kids. You are the only one who knows whether you did or you are doing what it takes to reach your dreams, or to be good at school, or to be good at sports, or be good with your friends.
Yeah, and be true to yourself.
And be true to yourself. Because that's the only way to improve yourself.
Yeah.
If you lie to yourself, and if you lie to people around you, you will never improve.
Yeah.
If you lie to people, you will have to say another lie to cover the first one, and then you end up with a chain of lies.
Yeah, and snowball effect. Yeah. Well, and then you just end up with becoming a fake person, don't you? And
then a fake person to yourself as well. So I like to judge myself. Not that I don't like to be hard on myself, but I'd like to be honest. Whether, in the evening when I go to bed, I try to review the day. I did what I had to do. What could I have done differently, or what is missing still what piece is missing to achieve what I needed to do?
Have reflection time.
Unless you reflect and be truthful, you will never succeed in anything, even in small things.
And also gratitude. I imagine you reflect a lot with gratitude, being a happy person, and just summing up, well, I did this and I achieved that, and I'm grateful for this.
I am really grateful. I'm really grateful as well because of the acceptance I have from people.
And that sense of community.
It gives me a sense of happiness and pride. But it came, as I said, through years of dedication to causes, to helping, to be there for my friends, for my colleagues, for my company, for tourism, for friends in hotels.
And for your country.
And for my country. So,
and I think just being genuine, that's why people can see that, they feel that, they know that you're not fake.
I never lie.
And that's why people will believe you.
I never lie. It's not easy all the time. Okay, sometimes you have to twist a little bit the truth.
I say white lies. If a lady comes and says, "Do I look nice in this?"
Ooh, fantastic. Okay, that's called conditional lies.
A white lie, yes.
A white lie. So
okay.
That we all say. I'm talking about, things that affect life.
Yeah, absolutely. My goodness, thank you so much for sharing all of these things. Let's go for the bonus question. So it's my little crystal ball that usually it's members of our team have asked a question, or sometimes it's should I read that? I'm going to grab it from you. Or it's people that have been on the podcast before. This is Mihalis. So he was on the podcast before. The only Mihalis. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this must be Mihalis Bandelides, who makes amazing, beautiful scarves to wear using 100% recycled plastic.
I've heard about him.
Yes. So we sell his stuff here, and he was on Hotel Talk. And he has asked you, of course he would, what is your favorite way of wearing a scarf? I think this might have been better given to like a woman. Crossed over and tight around your neck.
And tight on the neck.
To keep you warm.
Of course.
Practical. So Mihalimo, thank you for this beautiful question that Christos has answered so well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's a lot of fun.
For hosting me.
I loved it, and thank you for sharing so much. And I really wish you genuinely all the best in your bid for the European Union Parliament, and keep on doing what you're doing, and keep making us all smile and feel happy every time we see you.
Thank you so much.
And for all your contributions everywhere and all these different avenues that you're in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it helps us more than you may realize. If you are planning on coming to visit us at St. Raphael Resort and Marina, feel free to email our reservations team quoting Hotel Talk and receive an exclusive offer just for you. We look forward to seeing you soon, hearing your feedback about our show, and producing many, many more interesting episodes just for you, our listener, and our valued guest in mind. Thank you so much and take care.